So I'm Katerina Forrester-Smith. I'm a senior psychometrician with Illuminate Education. So item analysis is analyzing individual items to make sure that their difficulty level is appropriate, that they discriminate well between students of different performance levels, and then looking deeper into distractor rationales and response frequencies. So the first thing that we'll look at in terms of the item analysis is item difficulty. Item difficulty is a percentage of students scoring correctly on the item. As a rule of thumb, we're looking for at least 20% of students scoring correctly on an item. If we have less than 20% of students scoring correctly on the item might be too difficult. At the same time, if we have more than 80% of students scoring correctly on the item might be too easy. However, in some situations that might be okay. So if we have, for example, a mastery test, on the mastery test, we can be expecting a lot of items being easy, right? Because the student mastered that material. As opposed to if we have a pre-test, we can expect most of the items to be somewhat difficult. The second piece that we look at in terms of item analysis is item discrimination. How well does the item discriminate between students that top performers, right, and then lower performers? So we'll look at how well the students scored on assessment as a whole, right, and how well the students scored on any given item. Are our top performance scoring correctly on most of the items versus our lower performance scoring incorrectly on most of the items? Once we look at item difficulty and item discrimination, and we have seen potential flags, right? The item is too difficult and does not discriminate well. It's very important for us to look at the response frequency. For items such as multiple choice or multiple select, or items that have part A and part B, it's really important to look at and see what are students choosing, what are the responses that students are choosing, right? If they're not choosing the correct answer, what are some of the distractors they choosing and why? And let's say the correct answer was C, right? But most of the students are choosing B. We need to look at that specific distractor and try to figure out what was the common misconception, why are students choosing that particular response.